What's up YouTube, Headshot87 here. Today we are going to revisit two guns that I've got quite a few requests to do. So basically we're waiting on some new guns to come out for the year, so I thought this would be a great time to revisit these guns. Hopefully this will help some of you guys out that are looking at these two options for carry, home, range, and otherwise be entertaining to the rest of you. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two fine pistols, and at the end I'll tell you which one I like the best and why. This is going to be a pretty detailed video. We're going to go over pros and cons, straight from out of the box to the range to your holster. I'm going to tell you everything I know about them. And just a quick little note, like I said, we're waiting on some new guns to come out. In the next couple weeks, you're going to see some revisits of some guns that we've done in the past. And also, make sure to follow us on Facebook if you want to keep up with what we're doing over here at the Headshot87 channel. Make sure to follow us over there as well. So let's go ahead and open these guys up. Like I said, we're going to talk about a lot in this video, so let's go ahead and get started. The FNS 9 Compact, my favorite gun of 2015, favorite new gun. As you can see, you get a hard case with this rubber type of material in here. You're going to get your paperwork, all that boring crap, and then you're going to get your gun. It's going to come with 3 magazines, which is a nice touch. A 12 round flush magazine there. Alright, so you can see it says flush. You're going to get a 12 round extended magazine. Alright, so if you want to, your pinky can fit on there just nice. And then you're going to get the full size FNS magazine, 17 rounds. Makes it look a little bit ridiculous, but for the range or a backup, that will definitely come in handy there. So 3 magazines with the FNS. Move that one to the side. Sig P320 Subcompact. Now keep in mind, subcompact in the P320 line, it's the smallest P320, but it's not really a subcompact. It's more of a compact type of size, so just keep that in mind. You're going to get a nice hard case here, paperwork, all that kind of stuff. You are going to get a outside the waistband type of holster, just something to get you started. The gun generally is going to come with the all black version. I ordered the extra frame. You're going to get 2 12 round magazines. Alright, they got the little windows over there on the side. Pretty nice. So there you go. They're the same mag. The base plates aren't different at all, so I actually do kind of like that. So let's go ahead and move these boxes out of the side, and we're going to go over these features here really quick. So let's start with the FNS. Starting at the front, you see you have a 1913 style Picatinny rail. Slightly rounded off trigger guard. You'll notice you do have some front serrations there though, which is kind of nice. If you do something like that, it'd probably be pretty comfortable. A little bit of an undercut here in the trigger guard. We'll put the flush base plate in there. Very aggressive stippling on the grip. That is one of the features of this gun that some people love, some people hate. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but you have these raised pyramids, and if you're in an environment that's humid like where we're at, you can appreciate this if you're outside, if you're doing drills, whatever the case may be. But if you're sensitive to that, that may be an issue. See your FN logo right there. Ambidextrous magazine release. You can see that right there, and slide stop. So for you lefties out there, everything is nice and thin, close to the frame, but it is ambi all the time, so that is something that you lefties would probably appreciate. We already talked about the magazine. You'll notice how the lip of the magazine actually comes up and out. Not something I particularly care for. It kind of feels awkward to me, but that's just me. Front and rear slide serrations, they are cut very nice, so you can definitely get a good grasp on them. Definitely easy to rack the slide. Overall, this gun looks like it was built for the military. Like, this is just such a awesome looking gun. I really do love the way it looks. You'll notice right here you have a cutout. They do come with or without manual safeties, so that's just a decision that you guys will have to make for yourself. But just the cutouts and the slide and everything, the gun just looks absolutely incredible. I did get the one with night sights, so that way you guys we don't have to talk about, well, the sights on the Sig are better. No, I just went with night sights on this one and night sights on that one, and we'll talk about how these sights did during the day here in a little bit. External extractor, so that extractor is going to double as your loaded chamber indicator. It's going to stick out right here a little bit, and it's going to show red. Dovetail sights, front and rear, they are replaceable. One thing about the sights too on the FNS is that the front sight, whether it's the regular contrast sights or the night sights, is going to be a bigger dot in the front than what's in the rear. So that is pretty nice. You have this kind of U cutout shape here. So, and then I'll show you guys the triggers after the shooting part of the review. Going over to the Sig. Now every P320 in the line comes with the medium grip frame, except for the subcompact. The subcompact comes with the small. Now the small leaves off the rail, and this is rounded here in the trigger guard, I believe, on all three sizes. But this gun lends itself pretty well to having a small little light or a laser or something like that. So why they went with this, I have no idea. I still can't find the medium grip modules for this thing. The medium one will come with a rail, but that's just something I have not been able to find here recently, or at all since I've had the gun. We reviewed this one back in October. But anyways, no spot for a rail right here, rounded off trigger guard, slightly undercut right there in the front. Put your 12 round magazine, it is flush in there. A 2-finger grip is going to be pretty much what you're going to get out of this. You notice how much thinner the grip profile, and basically what I'm talking is from here to here, is compared to the FNS. Now the FNS has the replaceable back strap. That's something I didn't mention. If you put the one with the hump on it, it's going to extend out even more, so you do have that option. Of course, on the Sig, you have the replaceable grip modules. So basically, this entire thing can be changed in the matter of a few seconds, but you don't have any interchangeability on the back straps right out of the box. As far as the grip itself, I love these cross-directional little squigglies. I think they do a fantastic job. They're all the way around, of course, and I think it just feels really, really good in the hand. So front and rear slide serrations as well. They are, again, cut very deep. So rack and slide, press checks, whatever. Very easy to rack this gun. This one is actually easier than the FNS. The FNS is a little bit tight. Takedown lever is right there, of course, and your slide stop. Your magazine button is reversible. You notice it has that triangular shape there. It is reversible, but your slide stop is fully ambidextrous, so lefties can obviously switch this around and get used to that. Of course, both of them are striker fired, and the Sig Light night sights, which pick up really good during the day and are very good at night. So very cool there. And again, your extractor will stick out a little bit when you have a round in the chamber. It's not going to show red, but it will stick out a little bit there. Alright, so now let's talk about the specs really quick. Don't want to bore you guys with this too much. On the Sig, the overall length is 6.7 inches. The height is 4.7 inches. Your barrel length is 3.6 inches. The weight with an empty mag is going to be 24.9 ounces. As far as the finish, you have, most of the time it's going to come with the black polymer lower. And then you have the stainless steel sliding barrel with the nitron finish. MSRP is anywhere from $628 to $713. I actually paid, I'm trying to think back to then, around $520 for the gun. I bought it off of deguns.net, and of course, I get all my guns transferred to Allied Arms. So I got it for well under MSRP. If you do some researching, you can too, absolutely. The trigger pull is estimated between 5.5 to 7.5 pounds, and I'm actually going to be able to show you guys that now. Ta-da! Finally, the Lyman trigger pull gauge that we finally picked up, so I'm going to be able to show you guys that. After the shooting, I'll show you what they actually weigh in at. On the FNS, overall length is 6.7 inches. And just real quick, you'll see here, both guns are so close in size. I mean, they just really are. One thing I did not point out is you'll notice you have Novak style sights on the FNS. On the Sig, you actually have your shelf here, so you can do your one-handed manipulations. On the FNS, it ain't gonna work like that. It's just gonna go right over. So if that means something to you, just something to keep in mind there. But anyways, just looking at the back of them, you can tell they are very, very, very close. All right, in size and dimensions and everything. But getting back to it, again, 6.7 inches overall length, 4.5 inches with the flush base plate. Of course, it's going to add some length as you go to your different base plates. 1.35 inches at its widest point, so it is a little bit wider. The Sig is 1.1 inches at its widest point. The barrel is 3.6 inches, just like the Sig. 23.4 ounces with an empty magazine, so it is what is that, an ounce and a little bit over an ounce lighter. Of course, it's polymer frame, and you have a stainless steel slide and a very nice finish. One thing I like about the FNS is it's like an upgraded M&P where you don't have to do any upgrades. So I do like that. Again, they range this trigger from 5.5 to 7.5 pounds. MSRP is going to be anywhere from $5.99 to $6.99. I picked this one up for $5.50 with the transfer, so I got it well under MSRP. Now, one cool thing, I have seen that these in their standard configuration without the night sights, that's the only thing you're missing. Sometimes I've seen these for $400, and the full-size 40 versions I've seen for $3.99 as well. So if you look around on the internet, man, some of these places, Gun Buyer and even D Guns and things like that, you can find the deals. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we showed you the features. Let me show you the breakdown here really quick. Of course, on the FNS, slide or move your slide back to the rear, rotate your takedown lever down, move it to the rear. You would think you just pull the trigger right here, but you'll notice that it is slightly out of battery, so you just need to move it back. Well, keep your hand out of the way, obviously. Move it back to where it's flush, pull the trigger. It's going to come right off. The Sig is very similar. Notice your takedown lever on the Sig. That's one complaint I have on this gun. Look how much smaller they are compared to each other. So just a small little complaint. Lock your slide to the rear on the Sig, rotate your lever down. You do not have to pull the trigger. And there you go. As far as internally, you notice they are very, very similar. Here's your plunger on the FNS, dual captive recoil springs. One thing on the Sig, you'll notice here. Here's your Sig guide rod, and there's your FNS. So notice how much beefier that Sig recoil spring actually is. Just something to point out. Of course, the barrels come out just like you would expect on any John Browning design. There's your barrels. They are exactly the same length. Alright, so there you go. Slide construction, all pretty much the same. Your plungers are a little bit different. Notice your plunger over here, but they are essentially the same. Now, here's where it gets a little bit different. These these rails apparently are replaceable. Very nice, beefy rails up here. Very, very solid construction. That's one thing I love about the FNS for sure. On the Sig, you're going to have the option to take your full size, your compact, your subcompact, your carry, and switch your chassis out. So now you've bought one gun. This is the serialized part. Within the matter of a few seconds, you take that out, you pop this up. Now here's your gun, and you can take this in any configuration besides the 45, unfortunately, and slide it right back in. Pop that down, move it back to the back there, and slide it down. Rails, all stainless steel construction. Very cool, but the price on the kits is like $400, and you can buy a gun for $550. So I think they're a little bit overpriced. You know, you could take a compact and buy a smaller frame and do something like that, or you know, whatever. You can do whatever you want. It's a cool idea. I just don't know how popular they still are. Some of them are still hard to get to, so that's something to keep in mind. But it is an option. You can do that with the Sig. If you live somewhere where your gun are limited and you can only have a few handguns, then that'll be a good option for you. All right, so let's go and put these back together really quick. Very easy to take these guns apart. One thing to note with the Sig is you cannot put your guide rod in there like that. There's a recall, or not a recall, but a warning card in there that you must turn it to where your holes are like that. So just keep that in mind. I don't know what the deal was with that, but I guess they had some kind of an issue. Lock the side to the rear. FNS, pretty much the same. Doesn't matter the orientation on the FNS, just get it down where it's flush in there. Slide it back to the rear. There you go. All right, so let's get to some shooting. We will see you guys in a minute, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you guys the shooting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We got a new camera, so we are definitely trying to work and you know, figure everything out. So go easy on us. We are trying to figure it out. So sometimes the gun was in focus, the target was not. But anyways, our first set of shots, my first set of shots with the FNS compact, I kept pulling to the right a little bit. You can see this isn't like terrible, but it's not the best group either. So it's just one of those things. It is still a good shooter, and just keep in mind, in your hands, you'll probably do better with it. But it's just one of those things. It is a good shooter. 15-yard headshot test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12. So not too bad there. Of course, that was at 7 yards. Mrs. headshot with the Sig. Just shooting regular, not trying to get the best group in the world. Did very nice there. With the FNS, a little bit more spread out. Again, that was at 7 yards. Mrs. headshot with the FNS. Again, not too bad at all. 15-yard headshot test on the P320. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there you go. Even on the headshot test. Rhonda, our zombie friend. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. Not too bad with either gun. Both of them are really great shooters, as you can see. The Sig, a little bit more spread out for me over here. FNS kept it a little bit tighter. And what else we got here? Sig, right there, pulled some. And P320, not too bad. So, depending on how you shoot and your skill level, both guns, as far as shooting, will do just fine. Let me show you guys these triggers. They are very different triggers for sure. Okay. Alright, on the FNS you have an articulated style trigger just like on the M&Ps, so it kind of flattens out as you pull it. You hit a nice clear wall right here. And a nice clean break. Your reset is very right there, very clicky. You definitely tell when it resets. One thing about the trigger, even though the reset is great and everything, I had to be very conscious of when the actual trigger would reset. It was kind of weird. So once I started picking up speed, I'd catch myself missing the reset for whatever reason. Not sure, but you know, just one of those things. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the weight on the FNS here real quick. Put it about right there. £7 10 ounces. So let's try it again here. £7 5 ounces. Do it one more time. £7 12 ounces. So right in that range. It definitely lightened up from the first time I got it out of the box. It was around 8.5 ounces the first time, so it's right in there, pretty good. Sig has had more rounds through it. Let's go ahead and see what this one reads here. £7 11 ounces. I'll show you guys the Sig trigger here in a second. Come on. £9, that's way out there. You gotta be very precise with this trigger scale. One thing I did notice. £8 8 ounces. That's what I was actually getting before, was 8 ounces. One more time here. £8 4 ounces. So right in there. Let me show you the trigger on the Sig. It is slightly curved here. You have a little, very little bit of take up here. You hit a wall and it breaks. Reset, Boom, right there. So there is not much travel in the Sig trigger whatsoever. All right. As far as the two, which one do I like better? I shoot better with the Sig. And I noticed that Mrs. Heck shot better with the Sig. So it may be a little bit heavier, but I think it is a better trigger. Something with these articulated triggers, even on the M&P, I shoot okay with them, but I don't shoot great with them. So it's just one of those things. I shoot better with this gun. I don't know why. Alright, now we have talked about a lot in this video. Let's go ahead and talk about pros and cons. As I see it, they are very close to each other. Let's start with the pros on the P320. This thing is a great shooter, and it has been since day one. In your hands, it just feels very nice. Now, I don't necessarily care for the small grip. I think it looks kind of awkward, first of all, and I would like to have a rail. So Sig, please make these things available. It's been out for like 8 months now, and the P320 has been out for a long time. This is one of my cons. I'm about to just spoil everything here, but for the love of God, just drop the price on the kits. That's the main thing with this gun, is you have kits available. Some of them are available anyways. You don't have grip modules available, and that's your whole thing with this gun, is interchangeability. The interchangeability is nice if the price was right and you actually had them available. Please make them available. So, you know, the gun feels good in the hand though, and although it may look a little weird and all that, when you put a fully loaded magazine in this thing and you hold it out, I tell you what, man, I am a P320 fan for sure. This is probably my favorite gun on the planet, and it just offers you so much for a reasonable price. It's not the best price gun out there, but it definitely offers you a lot. The magazine button release is definitely very positive, very easy to get to. Rack and slide, all that kind of stuff is very easy. Even the modularity of the gun is very easy to do. Everything is easy and it makes sense. The night sights, even during the daytime, you can see them very well. A lot of night sights don't pick up that good during the day. So overall, man, just an absolutely fantastic gun. I still love this gun. And as far as carry, I've been carrying it. I did not bring it out here, but the hidden hybrid holster, I've been carrying both of these guns in. It does fit the FNS. It's for this gun. I need to try a Tolster holster with this thing. You guys, I know I love Tolster. We have a very good relationship with those guys. But I think they make them for the compact, not the subcompact yet. So, but I would like to try one of these in a Tolster holster. Fabulous gun. We'll talk about cons here in a second, though. As far as the FNS, great overall value. If you don't care about the night sights, like I said, you can get these things at an amazing price. It is a good shooter. Keep in mind, I've had more experience with the P320. But again, even almost, 10 months later, whatever it's been since we reviewed this guy the first time, it is a fabulous shooter. And again, the night sights on it, they're not as easy to pick up, but they're definitely a good set of night sights, for sure. The aggressive stippling for you guys that are in colder climates, that you guys are in humid climates, that you're shooting outside, you're doing drills, boom, boom, boom. This gun right here is fantastic for that, because you are not going to lose a grip on this gun. That's something I can promise you. The gun feels good in the hand. One minor complaint I have about the flush magazine, I don't like the way that lip kind of sticks out. It feels awkward to me. So I much prefer it in this configuration. It just feels good, feels better to me. A great look, an overall aggressive gun. It looks like it's built for the military, and as far as I know, these guys are built right here in South Carolina, which is something I love that. Aggressive, good shooter. One of the best guns, man, and I think it's highly underrated. I just love this gun. I absolutely love it. It may be too stiff for some people in their hands, but it definitely does lighten up. Very, very high quality gun. I absolutely love this thing. I can't say enough good things about the FNS. Now Mrs. Heckshot, on the other hand, standing behind the camera. You want to look at the GoPro and tell them what you think about it?
I hate this gun.
Okay, so there you go. She hates this gun, and one thing she found herself doing that I was doing with the Ruger American the first time we shot that gun, she was ready to put it down. I mean, just done with it. And I don't know if I got it in one of the clips, but her hand, literally the imprint. I mean, look at the imprint just from right there. It doesn't bother me as much, but maybe for some people, it may bother you. Extended shooting, it may be an issue for some people. All right, so and the magazine button. We're talking about cons now. I'm sorry I didn't announce that there, but the magazine button, man, they need to do something with this. It's just way too hard to depress that thing. I don't know what the deal is, but you have to push that thing way out of there, and the mags don't fall freely at all. So I don't necessarily care for that magazine button at all. But as far as cons, that is pretty much it on the FNS. Great gun. Cons on the P320. The kits are expensive. We talked about that. The grips are hard to find. Other than that, I love this gun too. I think for compact guns with decent round capacity, if you're somebody that's just now getting into guns and you want something that you can eventually carry, something for the home, something for the range, these guns are going to be two of the best options, in my opinion, of course. The FNS is available in 9 and 40. The Sig is available in 9, 40, 357 Sig, and 45. So you have quite a few options with this one. This one's going to be a little bit more standard. Of course, you guys know I love 9mm and 45. So we've talked about all that. Which one do I like? One thing I didn't mention, this one is a little bit more comfortable to carry inside the waistband, but I did notice this aggressive stippling on it. Kind of did rub me a little bit the wrong way inside the waistband. Talon grips would definitely fix that. Some rubberized Talon grips would fix that issue, no problem. This one inside the waistband is a little bit heavier. Obviously, it is a little bit heavier anyways, but both of them are fantastic. They are. And as far as picking one, well, I haven't sold this one and don't have an urge to. This one I did sell last year, and one thing that we do on this channel to keep everything fresh for you guys is we will sell guns, even though some of them we like a lot, just to get new guns for you guys. This one I did sell. I don't know if I'll sell it again. But as far as my favorite one, I love the P320. I think it just, I think for more people, it would be a comfortable gun to shoot. Let me go ahead and say this, high bore axis, I don't care. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I think it's just something people like to throw around that they've heard from somebody else. I don't care about that. I think this gun is absolutely fabulous. The compact and the subcompact are my favorites. And I don't see myself ever getting rid of this gun. The FNS, I don't want to get rid of this gun. Now, obviously, we're not made of money. We have to eventually sell some, things to get some newer ones. But I think either gun, get them in your hands. If you have a range you can go to, get them in your hands. See which one will work for you. I'm partial to the P320. I think it's a fabulous gun. But like I said, somebody gives me this on any given day, I'll roll with it. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about these two guns, which guns you are looking forward to coming out this year, and make sure to subscribe down below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and as always, hold them down.